For today's cup of coffee, it's a little bit of a shorter story, but I thought that it was very interesting, and we're still trying to get our momentum back after the holidays.
Yes.
And we had to go to Walmart because we have possible weather events heading our way in the next few days, so it's better to go out and get supplies while you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping that the really bad stuff is not going to hit anyone.
Yeah.
But that there was a front that was going towards like Mississippi and West Tennessee and could possibly go back up into Kentucky and stuff that could spawn tornadoes. Mm-hmm. But now that was this morning. So, check your local weather and stuff like that if you're in any of those areas.
Yeah.
So, 'tis the season for weirdness, and since we are in the La Nina weather period, it's odd because we're expecting temperatures near 70 in the next day or so, and rain and storms.
It's going to be bad.
So, if I try to plan ahead. I try to watch these things and plan ahead. Not just earth weather, but also astrology and different things like that. I try to be ready on all levels. This one comes again from Mysterious Universe, and this is Paul Seaburn. And I have, grown to appreciate his writing style greatly because he's, for the most part, on the money. Mm-hmm. And I can read it verbatim, always giving him credit. I don't have to edit out a lot of stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he wrote this on December the 27th, which is the same day as this recording. And this is NASA hires a British priest to help prepare to meet extraterrestrials. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Seaburn writes, would it surprise you to learn that NASA has a priest on staff who is also a scientist? Would you even more be surprised to learn his function is not to minister to astronauts, but to help prepare the religious world for possible encounters with alien life forms? So that's, interesting.
Very.
Interesting. And so he says to meet Reverend Dr. Andrew Davison, a priest, a theologian, and a scientist who has that unique job description and who is getting a preliminary 15 minutes of fame until the aliens arrive. And, quote, Mr. Davidson works at the intersection of theology, science, and philosophy. His recent work has addressed astrobiology, interspecies cooperation or mutualism in biology, and the extended evolutionary synthesis, end quote. And from his Cambridge University biography, Reverend Dr. Davison sounds like a priest whose homilies would keep those interested in space travel and SETI wide awake. He has a BA in chemistry with biochemistry and biophysics and a DPhil. I had to look up that. We're used to PhD. This is a DPhil is Doctor of Philosophy, just like a PhD. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's a Cambridge thing. Anyhow,
maybe.
In biochemistry from Oxford. My bad. It was Oxford, not Cambridge. And a BA in theology and religious studies and a PhD in theology from Cambridge. So this is a thoroughly educated individual.
Yes.
Somebody that I probably wouldn't even, other than saying hello, that would probably be all that I could contribute to the conversation.
Hello, period.
Yeah, that's it. In 2014, he's been the Starbridge Associate Professor in Theology and Natural Sciences at Cambridge. And it sounds like the perfect candidate to help NASA decide the religious aspects of dealing with aliens and the religious people on Earth who may be in a dilemma over it. NASA thought so too. Quote, in the 2016-17 academic year, he was a fellow at the Center of Theology Inquiry in Princeton, New Jersey, on a NASA-sponsored program to consider the implications for human society and self-understanding of life elsewhere in the universe, end quote. It's that somewhat controversial position, plus his recent monograph on the significance of exobiology for the main aspects of the Christian faith, that likely won him his latest job, which the British press is making a big to-do about. Well, it is a big to-do.
It is.
And, quote again, the headline findings are that adherents of a range of religious traditions report that they can take the idea in their stride. Non-religious people also seem to overestimate the challenges that religious people would experience if faced with evidence of alien life, end quote. That quote from one of his books points out that people of various faiths disagree on how to react to the discovery of life on other planets, especially if it is similar to life on Earth. However, non-religious people have had an objection to the mixing of space science, religion, and government funding before, specifically in that NASA-sponsored program at Princeton that Davison was part of. Quote, the principal thrust of the grant was theological and therefore religious, and though ostensibly ecumenical. It had. When you find out who has written this, you will understand, because it's pompous and just.
Of course. It's asshole again.
It is. The center is rooted in Christian theology. According to its website, the grant was patently unconstitutional, FFRF asserted, since government-funded scientific studies of theology create state-church entanglements, end quote. And, of course, that was from the Freedom from Religious Foundation. Okay. It could be questioned whether or not, what is a religion? It is an adherence of beliefs and stuff like that. I believe that atheism is a form of religion. They just do not have a deity.
Yeah.
Sounds like the Freedom from Religion Foundation is the same. Anyhow, they had protested NASA granting $100.108 million in taxpayer money, which, when we have governments dealing with trillions now, is nothing, to the Center of Theological Inquiry for what it deemed religious purposes. That obviously didn't stop NASA in 2017 and will undoubtedly not stop it today. While the funding may be controversial, the idea is worthy. Let's hope Reverend Dr. Andrew Davison opens the discussion up to all religions and to the non-religious. We will all be under stress the day the aliens arrive, if they're not already here. Now, within that, as far as the protest from Freedom from Religion Foundation, it was not as far as religious purposes. Is this guy's job title to help those who are people of faith deal when and if beings from another sphere arrive here. It is for, his job to help them.
Yeah.
And, there's some faiths, who knows how any of us would react if you're sitting there looking at this creature that is not from this planet.
Yeah, I would freak the fuck out.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. There are some people that their belief system is that this earth is all that there is. Scripture, if you read that is not what that says. The book that we have that a lot of us live our lives by, that's for life on this planet. It doesn't discount life on other planets. Christ said that he had sheep in other pastures. that in itself could be that,
Aliens.
I don't believe that God, created all that's out there for us to be the only thing there.
Yeah.
And especially since I'm one of these, there are different dimensions, and that's where I believe a lot of these things come from.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the solar system as we understand it, but our understanding is extremely limited.
Yep.
As a species, we don't understand ourselves or others, so how in the hell could we possibly expect to understand a being from someplace else?
Right.
So I think that anybody who could be of use in that area, they didn't just pick dude on a whim.
No. They chose him.
Yeah. Well, he's qualified for it. He studied for that. And it just, it doesn't matter what you do, how you do it, when you do it. Somebody's going to gripe, complain, whine, bitch, moan. It's just human nature.
Yep.
And these people,
it feels cathartic to bitch sometimes, though.
It can, but when that is the entirety of your dialogue during the day.
Oh, now, if you don't, you bitch out people all the time.
Bitch at them, to them, about them, no.
Yeah. That's a special occasion type of thing. No, you don't want to ruin that.
I mean, they used to, that old adage, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Well,
what happened to that?
Well, usually that goes out the window when the person starts throwing, insults first, but...
Do you really want to go to their level?
No, but it feels good.
It depends on the situation. It's a momentary thing. But in the end, what did you do? You showed that you were as petty as they were.
Yeah.
Petty has been the word
Petty Betty
over the past couple of days. And it's like, petty, trivial. What happened to live and let live? Now, that is something I'm like, you do you, dude. But just don't tell me how to live. If you haven't heard the new song by Monster Truck, it's actually their song. It is an anthem. It is an anthem. And that's all it is. Somebody live their own life, but don't tell other people how to live. I mean, you can make suggestions.
Yeah.
A lot of people want, they will ask you, if you can make a suggestion. A lot of times, I was told one time that I had a tendency to offer suggestions where they were neither wanted, needed, nor appreciated.
Which is rude as fuck.
Oh, it was rude as fuck. But you know what? It was true. And I really did a lot of self-reflection on that. And the individual who spoke those words to me removed herself from my life many years ago. And that took a burden off me. Because I was a better friend to her than she ever was to me. So, whose loss was it really? So, with this, I'm glad that there are people of faith in this world. It's not a matter of forcing other people. We share things. But it seems like those who don't have a religious view want to take that from others. It's just, it's crazy. We are in a time of true insanity. Like no other. But personally, I'm glad that NASA has a priest on staff because we all need some prayers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a little bit shorter cup because we got back later today. But it's all good.
Yep.
It's new knowledge today. Anyhow, if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, well-educated individuals who contribute greatly to our societies and worlds.
Pepe attacks.
Yeah, really.
Kekistan attack.
Don't pick on. Keck is life. Don't forget that because chaos. It is all a matter of constant change. It is. If you've got local, regional, family, myths, legends, what have yous, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. Know that you're appreciated. Your presence on the planet is welcomed, and that you are loved. So, you all have a beautiful, blessed day, and we'll see you on the next cup.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and hit that little notification button, bell thing. Fuck off, click it. Click it.
Bye.
Bye.